So the first step was to get the blessings and confirmation from the leadership of Young Knox Celebration Church. And, they knew me. And based on their knowledge of me, even though I'm sure some of them thought this was a pretty crazy vision, they supported me and sent me to do this. The senior pastor at Young Knox actually said, how many people do you want to take? You want to take 50, 100 people? Blank check. You can do anything you want. I said, yes, thank you, but give me permission to talk to whoever I want to talk to, but don't talk about it. Don't encourage people to go with us, because I realized that if I started out with 50 to 100 Korean Americans, as dedicated as they are, it's not going to be a multi-ethnic community church. I developed the core team from some of the people that I was discipling at Love LA. I developed the core team from maybe about 2 or 3 couples from Young Nam, and then went on a journey of God's providence, meeting people, pitching the vision. I probably pitched the vision of this church 100 times, and began to collect 20, 30 people. And then we did an alpha course that actually grew. I don't know if you know, I know you know a lot about alpha course, but for others listening, if you don't know, you usually have less people at the end than you have at the beginning. But that was the first alpha course that I led in which it grew, because it was also combined with growing a launch team, a vision for a church. And so when we got to 50, that's when we publicly launched the church. The first time I came to a drama regarding the vision of the church was when I was thinking about who our target was and what they looked like. I started to question if it's really realistic to actually reach both people in Skid Row and people in Lofts. People in Lofts, their average income was about $100,000. This is about 8 years ago. And that's dramatically different. I started to feel like, this is never going to work. This is not realistic. I should just target one side, and then maybe with that side reach the other people, or as a ministry, something like that. And I remember talking to one guy who planted a church similar to us about 10 years before, and he said it's very difficult to actually keep those two kinds of people together. So you're just going to end up with one. That's what he said. I was very discouraged. In the midst of my discouragement, I had a breakfast date with my wife at Starbucks, because I'm a fancy guy. So we were just talking about what we were thinking. Wait, maybe this is just a pie in the sky. It's not going to happen. It's not realistic. But then I said, I was listening to a sermon regarding church planting by this guy named Bob Logan, and he was talking about how definition of success is not the result, but just the obedience. The result is really God's issue. And that really struck me, and I'm saying, maybe I'm just thinking too much about the success of it or the result of it. And maybe we should just obey. And then Grace said, that's really interesting that you say that, because she said just yesterday she Googled Ralph Winter and she came across his autobiography. And as she was reading, these words just really popped out at her. And this is what he said. He said, after we made the decision to leave Fuller, we did not at any point in the next 13 years during which we paid off the campus feel that God had promised us success. We only felt that the value of the goal was sufficient justification to go all out, sink or swim. I coined the phrase, you do not evaluate a risk by the probability of success, but by the worthiness of the goal. We were willing to fail because the goal we sensed was so urgent and strategic. That idea and what I was thinking just kind of came together and going, that's the same idea. It's about searching God's heart and obeying what He's calling us to do, and not deciding what to do by probability of success.